Good morning everyone. So in today's video I'm going to be talking through my 12 cast-ons of 2026. I've got plans for 9 so far, and I'm going to talk today about cast-ons 1 to 4, 3 of which I've already started, and the 4th one I'm going to try and start in this video. So before we get onto that, I'm just going to show you, I didn't have these last video to show you, so these are my brother-in-law's completed stripy socks, which I have now finished. I just did a plain toe. These were finished on Christmas Eve, and they were blocked on Christmas Eve and just about dry for Christmas morning. So he really appreciated those, and they matched with my sister's socks. So really chuffed with these. I did not they are quite big, but I didn't realise how much bigger men's socks are than women's. But really chuffed with those. I think they look really nice. So yeah, they're finished. Knit these with some Madrigal yarn, stripy sock yarn in the shade Blake from the Dynasty collection, and then I used some of the hand dyed 4-ply that I'd dyed myself, so it's got bits of, it's quite mild, it's got bits of green and beige and different coloured browns in, but from a distance it looks brown. I think these look really nice and retro. I did try and do joggler stripes. I didn't fully succeed, but it's not too bad. So yeah, he really appreciated those. Okay, so this is the current stash, not for stash, but stash that's got plans for, and starting to think about what I'm going to be knitting for the 12 cast-ons. So some of these, so this project here, which you've seen before, the vest, that was started before, so we're not counting that one. So in this bag we have the wool for my colourwork socks that I'm going to show you in a minute. We've got some Bird Street yarn 4-ply, really soft 4-ply, which I'm aiming to cast on a Tombow tee, but I need to get 2 more balls of that because I've worked out there's not enough. So I'm just waiting for them to open up so I can order 2 more balls of that. 2 hats, one for my sister and one for my mum. They're the boucle beanie number 5s. This is my Matcha jumper, which I'm going to be showing you later. And then this I'm going to try one more time at the chain heart sweater. That's all the wool I need in there. If that doesn't work, I've got a plan B. And then I bought yesterday some owl coloured 4-ply, signature 4-ply yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners, which I'm going to knit myself some owl themed socks. I might put some owls on there. Then this I got ages ago. This is a lovely soft sock yarn from Manos del Uruguay. I'm going to be making some socks with those as well. And then I've got my gingerbread socks, which I'm going to show you in a little while. So that is the plan. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's room for 1 extra. Oh, it's 12 cast-ons, isn't it? I think I'm going to do 10. But I'm going to get going with this. I've already cast on the colourwork socks, the gingerbread socks, the Matcha sweater. So 3 cast-ons done already. Yeah, so that's the plan. So first cast on then was some gingerbread socks that I have knit or started to knit using West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply in the shade Gingerbread. They're over here, let me just get them. So we went for a little drive yesterday, well, quite a long drive. We went on a little day trip, me and my husband, because my mum and dad had took the kids to a pantomime. And about half an hour from where we were going, there was the Black Sheep Wools warehouse. So that was really nice. But so I got a couple of bits from there. However, it meant I could have lots of time knitting in the car. So my smallest sock is up to the point where I need to put the heel on. That's how that's looking. And the other sock I've managed to do the heel. So I've done a shadow wrap heel. For some reason I have a big hole here. I think it's because I found out like when I got to here, I did the red stripe and then I did the brown bit, and then when I'd done the heel I thought, oh no, that means that the stripe is going to start right after the heel, and I wanted some brown in between, so I kind of found a bit of wool where there was some brown and did a few bits of brown, and then I started the green stripe, but I've managed to put a hole in. It's not the end of the world because there's lots of yarn there that I can use on the back to just sew that up, but the other side's really neat. That's fine, isn't it? It's not, doesn't have to be perfect. They're just for me. They're handmade. I can fix that. But yeah, really happy with how these are turning out. They're in nice and fast. Really like that wool. So that is cast on number 1 of the 12 cast-ons of Christmas 2026. Cast on number 2 was going to be the chain heart sweater. As I said last video, I cast it on about 6 times and just had to put it away. I kept making silly mistakes. So instead I cast on the Matcha sweater. I'm going to move it over a bit so that I've got a space to put some pictures here. The Matcha sweater. I think it's by Mayo, and that is using this beautiful 4-ply opus yarn from A Yarn Story, which is knitting up really lovely. I did a little swatch, and when I say little swatch, I mean little swatch. How gorgeous is that? So it's quite a drapey fabric. I'm knitting this on 3.5mm needles. It's a bit slow going, but this is what I've got so far. It's not really much to show really, but I have cast it on, and that's the point. I'm using my lovely cat stitch markers, but you can see there's the shaping. So this is the back panel. I've got a few more rows to go and then it joins. It will be like that, won't it? No, like that. And then it joins at the front, and that's what we've got so far. I couldn't figure there's 2 different increases here. There's 2 different left leaning increases and 2 different right leaning increases. And to be honest, I didn't have the energy to figure them out. So I just used a make one right whenever it said any make right increase. And I think it still looks okay. It's not exactly as the pattern intended, but I think that still looks quite nice. And it's about the joy of knitting it as well, isn't it? If you're going to be struggling, there's not much point. You might as well just buy a jumper. But yeah, really pleased with how that's looking. Really liking the yarn. It is this is sport weight apparently, but it's 4-ply. And I don't know why this satisfies me so much, but the colour of my needles matches my knitting. So that just, again, brings me joy. And obviously these little guys as well just make knitting that little bit more exciting. It's a shame for me, isn't it? But yeah, so enjoying doing that. Just want to kind of get on with it. This is the problem I've found with having so many whips and cast-ons, is that you do a little bit on everything. I'm going to have to find a way of organising my time a little bit better with those, and then when I go back to work I'm not going to have as much time, but never mind. Okay, so 3rd cast on, I was desperate to use these doodle cards, so I picked some wool. Well, actually I did the pattern first, so I'm going to show you if I can log into my husband's iPad that I have stolen. I'm going to do it from a distance. This is the stitch pattern that I've designed using those cards. So we've got blue cuff, we've got some leaves, some robins, some mushrooms, some blue jays, and then that's the colour the sock's going to be. So I had some of this yarn as scraps, but I don't know whether you remember, if you watched the previous video, I bought a couple of balls of Drops Nord to pad out a wool warehouse order so I could get some free delivery. These are in shade 23 and 22. 22 is the dark one, 23 is the light one. And I just really like I'm into brown at the moment. So this is how the sock is looking so far. I'm super chuffed. My plan today is to do one more part of the colour chart, which I think are the robins. I do like doing colour work, but also it's not as enjoyable as just sitting and knitting, but it is exciting when you see your pattern. I made a mistake as well, so I forgot to do this last stitch on this side for some reason, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. So that's that. The next bit is going to be robins, then the mushrooms, and then the jay. So I'm really happy with how that's going. I've got some red for the robins and the mushrooms, and that's it. Yeah, so that is the third cast on that I'm doing. Now the fourth cast on, I've decided I am going to try one more attempt at this chain heart sweater, because I'm obsessed with the pattern. I've seen other people do it on YouTube and they've not said they've had any issues. Maybe they're more experienced than it is, probably. I think I'm going to go down in needle size to 4mm. The problem with that is that I've got one pair of 4mm needles and I'm using them in my other whip, which I started before, which is my Semper slip over. I reckon I've got 3 more inches to do on this, but I do want to start this sweater. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because it's back and forth at the start, I'm thinking I'm just going to use straight 4mm needles to do it. Might be a rookie error because I'm obviously going to have a slightly different tension, or I'll take the needles off that and start it, whatever I decide. But yeah, I feel like I've done it wrong 7 times. I've learnt from those mistakes. If I sit and I give myself an hour, and I'm going to try and film it and speed it up, obviously, because that will be the most boring YouTube video of all time. I'm going to place my markers. I'm going to be careful. I've printed the... Oh no, I think I've printed the wrong size. Oh, rubbish. I printed the medium out. I printed the medium out and not the extra large. Why have I done that? Maybe I'll just borrow my husband. I'll borrow my husband's iPad. I'll have it in front of me. I'll highlight the lines. I'll take a picture of it on the iPad so I can just highlight the lines as I do them. I think that's the best thing to do. But yeah, so I'm going to give that one more go and see how it goes. And I thought I was being ever so organised getting those printed out. But yeah, so I'm going to try and just cast that on, even though I feel like just because, do you ever have them days? So just because something goes wrong, you're like, I don't want to do it now. Is this a bad omen? No. Having a breakdown over knitting on YouTube was not the plan for this video. Okay, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna push myself to do it. I've cleaned my whole room, cleaned my desk ready. So yeah, I'm gonna get that started. I'm gonna give myself an hour. I'm gonna put a timer on, and whatever I do in an hour, I'm gonna then make a decision whether I'm gonna frog it and do something else, or whether I'm going to carry on doing this pattern. So fingers crossed it works and it doesn't send me doolally, and the next video will be me very excited because it's working. Fingers crossed. Pray to the YouTube gods. Okay, so I will see you in an hour to let you know how it's going. I'm going to try and record it. Sorry for any strange faces I pull while I'm concentrating. But yeah, see you in a little while. So I didn't quite manage an hour. I think I did 45 minutes, but I need to stop now. I think it's looking okay. it looks better than it did. I don't know if you saw from that video, but I kept losing my place. It's very hard. So I'm trying to cover some of the chart. I'm on row 5. I've done 5 rows, and that's took me 45 minutes as well as casting on. But yeah. So I'm going to pause this video there. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to be in the mood to knit this, but I'm pleased that I've persevered, even if I just do 5 rows every Saturday. It's going to take me hours, 45 minutes for 4 rows. That's insane. And it doesn't look like it gets any easier based on the chart, but oh well. What's it called? A magnum opus? Have I made that up? Like your great life work. I feel like this jumper's going to be that. So I'm glad I persevered. 8 times a charm. So yeah, next vlog I will be going through maybe a few more cast-ons. I'll show you some progress on what I've been up to. And yeah, I hope you all are having a lovely break. The sun is trying to come out, which is fantastic because this weather just makes me miserable. I don't think I'll post again before New Year's Eve, so have a lovely New Year's Eve whatever you're doing, and I will see you again soon. Take care.